Yo, what's going on, you guys? My name is Zeppelin and welcome back to the channel, and today we have another series of reactions for you, or should I say the beginnings of a series of reactions. We are going to be listening to the full album of Greta Van Fleet, The Battle of Garden's Gate, their second full album, I believe. As far as I'm aware, they had an EP before their first album, which had a lot of their big hits on it as well, so we'll say it's their maybe third main outing, but their second album. Now, this is a band that I actually quite like myself and have followed them on and off for a little bit. Their first album and their first workings did kind of get a bit stale for me and I had stopped listening to them. However, when I heard that this album came out, I thought I'll give them a listen again, and I've heard about 2 or 3 songs from this album. Now, I can't actually remember the names of them off by heart. I think actually this first song might be one of the ones I've heard from it already, but from what I've heard and then what I've read about other people saying about these albums is that they actually sound like, it actually sounds like that they've improved quite a bit, and this is a all-round better piece of work than what they released on the last album. So I'm very curious to see how this one sounds. I can't wait to get into it. We're probably going to do a video a day depending on how I can get them edited. It should be a video a day, so once this comes out, if you're watching this the day that comes out, that there will be more coming out the following day and the day after and the day after. And if you're watching this way in the future, then all of these reactions should already be live on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in seeing them, make sure to like this video if you enjoy it. Make sure to comment down below what you think of the song, think of my reaction, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. We are going to get straight into this. Greta Van Fleet, Heat Above, the first song from their second studio album, I believe. Yeah, I've heard this one before on the phone, alright. Definitely heard it before. Very organ based. So a couple of the stuff on this album I think is quite organ based. Good build. That's cool. A very easy groove to get into. I like it. Okay, that's where the vocals come in. I'm going to try and pause every minute again, just to try and avoid copyright as best as I can. I doubt I'll avoid it at this rate, but I'm going to try. Now, we haven't actually heard too much of the song yet as to what it is, but, you know, the battle of, what was it, the Battle of Garden's Gate or something, there seems to be quite a sort of god and angelic, almost religious-y vibe about some of this stuff, and that is backed up by the use of the organ here. It's very interesting, you know, because again, it does have that Led Zeppelin-y quality, you know, like the whole thing about the band and the reason why they've kind of, well, not flopped, but they've been lambasted, so to speak, by the rock communities because they sound too much like Led Zeppelin. They're a Led Zeppelin rip-off, and there are definitely a lot of elements to Led Zeppelin about them, even here still. While I've heard that they've moved away from it a little bit, you can definitely tell it's still there. This sounds like something Led Zeppelin would do. However, it's not doing... It sounds more like, if I was to describe it, it sounds like Led Zeppelin as their body of work rather than a copy of Led Zeppelin's biggest hits, which a lot of the stuff on their previous albums could be called almost clones of the bigger hits. This just sounds more like the genre itself rather than, or the genre the band almost created rather than just singular songs from the band. So it's quite interesting. Let's keep going and see where it goes. I think the vocals have just started, so I'll go back a minute or a second or two. Brilliant voice. I'm liking the drum work. Yeah, the drums, that's a good touch. It's a very good touch. Bit of grit in his voice that time. There's the chorus. Alright, let me throw another pause in there. This song is very good for what it's doing. Now, I want to preface this by saying I have listened to this once or twice before on my phone. I think I mentioned that already. And in terms of a song, you know, it's not one that I would just sit and listen to that much. Like, if I was sitting on my computer and I wanted to listen to music, this wouldn't be my first choice, so to speak. However, I really like this song in a way that if I was in the car, if I was driving in the car and I wanted some road tunes to put on, this is definitely something I'd put on. Or if I'm out with my mates at a beach or whatever and I wanted some kind of cool sort of rock tune, obviously for the mates of mine who'd be interested in rock, which a lot of them aren't, but this is definitely a song I put on for that. This definitely has a vibe about it which I'm really digging, and if the rest of the album sort of has a similar vibe to that, I can definitely see how the album could be is considered to have been an improvement upon their previous work. This song is definitely an improvement even from a production standpoint as well. There's way more going into it, so I'm really enjoying it so far. Let's keep going with it. He's adding more and more grit to that part every time it comes around. Oh, I like this part. It's like a little bit of a change up almost. Such a Zeppelin-esque voice, obviously, but I don't want to keep drawing that comparison. Not fair to him. I'm throwing my last pause in there. It's my last pause, I swear to God. I actually have a funny story about this band that I'll tell now really quick. I actually, when the first album came out and I was digging their stuff originally, as I had said at the beginning that I was originally quite into their stuff, I bought tickets to see them live in Dublin. I think they were like 30 something each for the tickets or whatever. And it was about a month away from when we were supposed to go see them, and the singer, I think, had to cancel the whole thing because he got really, really ill. And they didn't come around again for like another year and a half. And by this point, I kind of stopped listening to their stuff. So I ended up reselling the tickets for like 120 each or something on some resale website. And now actually hearing some of this stuff and how I think I'm going to like the rest of this album, I regret not seeing them, but at the same time, they didn't have this type of work yet, so I might not have been into it as much. If they come around again, I'm 100% going seeing them. And I'd say they will come around. I think they're already touring or have started plans for a tour in the US. So if they come back around to Ireland, I'll definitely be going seeing them. But yeah, so far I'm liking this. Kind of my opinions, I've already said a lot of them already. So there's no point me sort of rambling on saying the same things again. So let's just round out this song, and I'll give you my final opinions. Such a vibe of the song. Brilliant vocal work on it as well. And I'll fade sort of back into that original organ sound that we started off with. Okay, that is that Greta Van Fleet Heat Above, the first song from their second album. Yeah, I mean, I think again during that song I gave all that I had to really say about it. It's not a song that I necessarily listen to on my own, but it's a terrific vibe song. There's a lot of scenarios where I'd want to throw this song on. I think it's a terrific song for setting the tone of what the album's going to be. I mean, for a lot of first songs in albums that are going to be more consistent in terms of their sound, it's important for the first one to sort of let you know what you're in for a little bit and sort of set the tone for things that are to come in the album, set the pace, so to speak. And I think this is a great song to pull you into the headspace of the genre they're occupying, so that they can then do more in-depth stuff further into the album. And for that, I really like what this song does and achieves on the album. If I was to rate it out of 10, it would, for me, probably be somewhere between a 7.5 and an 8. You know, it does what it has to do really well. It's just, for me personally, again, I think something that would be similar to the last album, Greta Van Fleet's songs, is that I can see this song growing stale to me, but I could always have it for a night out, for a party, or for being in a car with friends on a drive, you know. This song definitely has its place in a catalogue of music that I would use, and for that reason, that's why it is so high, and also for what it achieves. It just falls a little there for me, because it's not something that I would listen to loads in my own time, which I feel for that reason it would be unfair to give it an 8 or above, because 8 or above is songs that I would sit and listen to consistently. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for watching this reaction. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to watch the rest of the reactions. They are going to be out on my channel very, very soon. If you have anything you want to say, make sure to leave a comment in the comments below. I read through them all and reply to ones that are replyable to. Of course, you know that we get some comments that there's nothing that can really be said about them. But yeah, I'll thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.